But boom, one more time. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everything is going smoothly. I'm not actually sure if it's going to go live right away. We're trying something new out, as you might be able to tell from the screen. So if things are going well here, I'm grateful for all your guys' support. It does look like it just went auto live, so it's not giving me a choice. But nonetheless, as you can see, you can now see how many live stream viewers are on the stream while we're there. And you can see that little subscriber goal. So there's 332 days to go on the subscriber goal. We want to get another 10,000 subscribers. So it gives us the rest of the year to do so. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear everything and it all sounds smooth. You're also going to see that every time you guys leave super chats and give us love and support, that you're going to, well, you'll see what happens. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and you'll see exactly basically how, I guess we're going to all find out how this works. This is a new live stream feature. So today's episode is The Best Investors Are Dead. And the reason why I want to go over to this specifically is because I think it represents the perfect opportunity to, well, for a few things. Number one, if you're new to investing, one of the things a lot of people do wrong is try to make too many trades. And because of that, you can get pushed out of positions really easily. It's a very emotional thing to go through. And what we want to do is kind of remove a lot of that emotional flack. So even though we like to study technical analysis because it makes it a lot easier to figure out where you are in the markets, one of the important things is to go over some of the reminiscence of the past. And there's a clear difference between those that are speculators and those that are traders and investors. So this is a kind of a fun little ditty we want to go over. And on my screen right now, what you should be able to see is this. It's called Life Hacker. It says the best investors literally forget about their portfolios. So I've got two fun articles I want to go over with you guys today, basically all going around the same issue. And then we will drop in and take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. So set and forget investing isn't sexy, but it works. In fact, lazy investing is so effective, a study from Fidelity found that the best performing investors had either forgotten their accounts or even crazier, they were dead. So Fidelity reported conduct an internal study of a performance review of accounts between 2003 and 2013, which find that accounts which did the best. I love that the way Living Rich cheaply explained it, and it emphasizes occurs here. The best performing accounts were from investors who were dead. In second place were investors who've forgotten that they had accounts at Fidelity at all. Now again, this is important for the average new investor. Don't get swayed by people telling you you should be trading leverage. You're just going to lose money. They're making money off of your losses. Don't do that. Leverage is for like the skilled investor only, or you should probably have 5 to 10 years on your belt before you even think about it. And even then, maybe not. So we move into this. I think this is a great article. So this was an internal study that made its rounds when asset manager James O'Shaughnessy relayed on Bloomberg Radio. However, it's certainly not the first study to show lazy portfolios work. Over time, slow and steady seem to win the race when it comes to investing. Well, active investors will tell you it's possible to time the market and make killing playing the stocks, which we're a big fan of, by the way. The data seems to show otherwise, and set and forget investing for most people is the easiest way to go. And it's the safest way for any beginner investor. And because a lot of you guys are new, I wanted to go over this because I know a lot of you, and I've chatted with a bunch of you, you're getting swayed by YouTubers telling you to trade leverage, and you guys are just going to lose money because it takes impeccable timing to do that right. And they're mostly making money off of your failures. So MarketWatch makes a valid point. Though this doesn't mean you shouldn't check up on your portfolio every now and then. You should definitely remember how to freaking log into it, of course, as well. And rebalance as you get closer. Again, lean into the things that are market leaders. It's extremely important. But here's another aspect of this as well. Fidelity's best investors are dead. So this idea, again, the customer account audit revealed that the best investors were dead or totally inactive. People who switched jobs, forgot about their 401k, leaving their current options in place, and people who died and the assets were frozen in the estate and held assets. The next best performers, again, were those with energy, healthcare, small cap value portfolios. Again, my speculation of why people that are dead beat everyone else is that there is no temptation to employ recency bias to sell stocks simply because the price of the company went down, or assume that the recent bad economic conditions will continue perpetually into the future. So again, this is extremely important for most of you that are beginners. I wanted to highlight this. Again, these people did amazingly well because they didn't touch their portfolio. So for those of you that are new right now, just keep investing, just keep acquiring more assets and building your portfolio. That's one of the best ways to go. And even though we want to go over market timing to help you build the confidence of understanding where we are in the market, so that buying Bitcoin at $40,000 or Ethereum at $1,400 doesn't make you feel sick in your stomach, because the more confidence you have about the markets, the easier it is to make those decisions. So, number one, look at this. We had a nice downwards trend line that we got stuck under a few times. We broke above it, and we have stayed above it. And not only that, even on the comparative chart that we were watching here previously, we've stayed very clearly above our POC line, and I do suspect we're going to get a run at 34,000 and probably even up as high as 40,000 before we see the big jump across the creek. Probably something like this. On the other screen, it would be something akin to this. So we keep researching and studying what's known as Wyckoff analysis or trading ranges. I do suspect we're going to run up to the top and get another breakdown, kind of similar to what we saw here. Again, the big boys like to drive the price up and then sell on to retail investors who get scared by people making FUD news on YouTube about billions of Bitcoin being sold. You have to remember that Grayscale is buying hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin per day, effectively, so an extra $1 billion into the market doesn't make that much of a difference. And those are the types of videos that generally scare people out of the markets, so don't listen to them. In fact, listen to as few people as you possibly can. Heck, don't even listen to this channel every now and then. No, I'm just kidding. Listen to this channel. Subscribe. Hit that little bell button. That way, every time we go live, you guys will be notified. So everything is looking perfect in our horizontal trading range right now. Again, we are in a very important area in this trading range. As you can see, each one of these blue lines represents an area we were hitting support and resistance on these wicks. And more importantly, we've stayed clearly above this trading range for quite some time now. And that's important. When you start to get above these trading ranges and you start to close above the point of control line, it starts to make a big difference. So again, you know, guys, when we're going over this stuff and we're trying to help everyone learn how to make good investments, it's important to remember, again, what we just went over, that the best investors were dead. They literally forgot about their portfolio. So if you're new here, when we're studying, this is to give you the clear, calm confidence so you can continue to execute like a fucking rock star. That's the most important part. When we get to the top, I'll be screaming that we're at a high, and we're not there yet. And again, we can look at some of this stuff by going back over to our trusty Glassnode Center. Again, you can see very few new Bitcoin have come onto the market. If we rip over to our favorites here, one of the total liquid supply chains, this is another really important way to tell if there's going to be big selling coming onto the market. And there isn't. There have been no big movements onto the market within the last 24 hours. So that $1 billion doesn't even show up on our charts. So anyone who's talking about like some miners selling Bitcoin, they're just trying to shake you out of your hands. That's all they're doing. It's really important to recognize the difference of technical versus fundamentals. And the technical aspects right now all look screaming. It's beautiful. Okay, so back to our technical chart here. We've done really well so far with this trading range. We can see Ethereum also doing really well with the top of our trading range here. We are just touched the bottom of this long-term trend line multiple times now. A shakeout, our secondary test here as well. And now a final secondary test. Now, we made conjecture about this being bearish, although it's not. I think what we're about to see is a nice break above this, our green trading range, which is based off our buying climax back here. We did hit one of our main points of our previous buying climax as well, so important. I believe we're going to close here. We're probably going to build a nice, sexy rising gradient bottom. Hopefully it's thin and tight for me, because I would love to be able to play in this trade. So importantly, guys, the other thing I want to go over to is understanding is understanding the real importance of being a good investor before a trader. First off, I can see that you guys are making comments about other crypto YouTubers crave you getting liquidated for their dumb Bybit money addiction. Yeah, those guys are making a lot of money off your failures, and it's kind of sucks because that's not what you want in the middle of the bull market. Most of you as beginners should just be buying and accumulating every month that you can and losing your portfolio until we get to the top. And we're not going to be anywhere near the top. When we get there, we'll be screaming that we're at a top, because it'll be usually hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's important, again, to pay attention to these things. And the other important factor too, guys, is to remember that bulls versus bears. The bears technically are the ones who always win the markets because they're smart enough to accumulate during the low season. Everyone looks like a genius during a bull market because, like, yeah, just buy everything. Oh my God, it's so good to go. But they were nowhere to be seen during the bear market. So there's a big difference between these characteristics. And one of the reasons why I love the bear is because he knows how to forage to make it through the deep winter. And then when the spring season comes, ta-da, we're ready to rock and roll, baby. Okay, so thank you guys all for joining us today. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum look extremely bullish in the sentiment. We've been following both of these charting patterns from quite some time. As we closed above the POC for both Ethereum and Bitcoin, we're looking super strong on that. I believe that this is going to continue in that avenue. And there are other indicators to go down that. Oh, God damn, it just keeps jumping back. Aave is another clear indicator that we are staying above the box and quite bullish. Here you can see the other previous trading ranges we had been following, our big springs, our breakout above the box. This is a rising gradient pattern, one of the most bullish patterns. Aave could take another huge run here. And more importantly, when we started making our entries into Aave back in November and December, look how much upside we've had since then. Just an absolute beautiful run on Aave. I've actually had some messages of some from you guys where you made 6 figures from only putting like a few $1,000s back when we started making these videos. Was it June, July? Some of these ideas we were looking at. Hot mic. Okay. Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky, guys. I just am trying a new audio or visual software thing. So as you can see, if you guys first off, you'll see if you make super chats, it'll like pop up this thing on my screen. And if you're a new subscriber, it'll pop up on the screen. Anyways, I don't know. I'm just messing around with new stuff. So again, oh, damn it. It keeps jumping back and forth. I'll fix these. We'll fix this stuff. I hope you guys appreciate that I go through so much effort to try to bring new things to the table for each of you. I did it again. Okay. So we'll go back to Ren. And it's going to do it again, isn't it? Jesus. I just can't win here. Okay, I'm going to have to fix it for the next screen, but that's okay. So in our private group, guys, this was a really nice one. We've been going over Band as well. And I think this is a great time to go over Band because it looks like it's about to finalize its backup phase. So we've been watching Band. The private members notification for Band went out around $5.50. If we take a look on the daily, you'll be able to see why that is. For those of you that are pretty good at your study, you'll probably recognize 2 key features. Number 1, we had reaccumulation after decline, which is one of our favorite reaccumulations. Although it is a bit weaker, it gives us still a very powerful signature. You also had an inverse head and shoulders. Now, guys, pattern trading, you don't want to pay attention too much. Most of the pattern traders out there are just talking. They don't have a clue about what they're talking about, and they'll often kind of screw you guys over. So ignore pattern trading. Focus on the horizontal trading ranges for now. And here we go. We were in a nice pennant. Well, again, ignore the pattern trades, but more importantly, focus on the horizontal backup phase that we had been going through this last week. So if we go in on the 4 hour, this starts to look super sexy. It does exactly what we wanted. The backup phase, you want to see this decline in volume. We've gone over this many times in our previous videos. Yeah, could turn the gain down on the mic. See, guys, some guys like, oh, it's too quiet. Some guys like, oh, it's too loud. Like, you can never get it right. Everyone's fucking picky. You got all goddamn Goldilocks characters. Just turn it down. I mean, I'll figure it out eventually here, right? I'm going to do a live stream every day, so eventually it's going to be fucking perfect. I don't know. Trying new stuff. Okay, so here we can see we've broken outside of the box for the most part, although as we zoom in here, we get a little bit clearer of a picture. We've won right up to the top. So we're going to want to see a little bit more consolidation. Here's the bottom of the box. We'll get rid of this pennant again because it's only pattern trading is only really useful if you're trading through the box itself or through the horizontal trading range. And here we go. So here's the top parts of our trading range, both the green and the blue lines. It does look like we're going to get a nice breakout above Band. I would suspect we get something like this, and then the P&F charts that Baloo had drawn up have us going as high as like $37 potentially. So guys, remember, these are very volatile. Don't play with leverage, especially if you're new. You're just going to lose money, and you're going to hate the bull market when this should be like one of the sexiest times to be here. Like literally, you could make money without even trying, just by being here. I want this channel to do really well, so everyone don't get wrecked. Yeah, please guys, remember to be cautious when you're listening to other content creators. A lot of these guys make money off your failures. I'm trying to make money off helping you not make those failures, by showing up and providing like valuable, consistent understandings. I've been in the market for almost 10 years. It's not just the crypto market either. Although I do have links to Binance and FTX, like I don't suggest you use them unless you're quite a skilled person. Just be a good investor to start off with. That'll make a huge difference in your life. So band is looking really good here. I do suspect we're going to get a nice blow up out the backside of this backup phase here. A little volatile, obviously, from the top of the bottom, from the top of the box to the bottom, the spread is almost 30%. So even if you were good at leverage, like just not really worth it. There's so much volatility in here. Again, we've been building a spot position here. I had a leverage play. I took it 7-7. I was still in it, and then I got wicked out, so I'm not in there anymore. But I'm just building spot now in the rest of these positions. Too much volatility here to play with leverage, but what's nice is I do believe Bitcoin is going to give me the opportunity to have more of these really sexy tight bands where we were only at 10% here. Like literally you could have gone 7x here, no problem, and here, no problem. But that's a different story. Don't play with leverage if you're new. You need like years of study. You're just going to lose money. Don't listen to those YouTubers like, oh, it goes up 10%. You can make 100%. Yeah, but what they don't tell you is if it goes down 10%, you lost all your fucking money, okay? Don't listen to them. I know I'm like, some of these just, God damn it, whatever. You guys, I'm sure you get the point. I'm not trying to rag on anyone, you know? They're just trying to make a living too, and I'm sure they're like, think they have good intentions, but it's difficult. Investing is difficult. Most people lose money unless they're dead and they don't invest at all, or they don't like touch their portfolio at all. So again, go back and watch the beginning of this video. I think it's super important. Yeah, okay, so Bitcoin and Ethereum both looking super sexy. Again, I'll go over this. Both of these trading ranges look perfectly bullish to me still. I have not changed my sentiment for the last 30 days. I have stayed bullish for the last 30 days. I took a nice leverage position here that made a few grand, and I bought myself a new camera because of it, some new gear. We're gonna make some vlogs in our spare time because I love doing that. Okay. Awesome, guys. I really appreciate all your support today. I hope, let's see you guys give us a super chat. It'd be super awesome if one of you could give us a super chat. Or let's see, how do these different things work? Okay, see how you can see Kevin there? Kevin at the side top. Yeah, okay. See, I'm trying to mess around with some of this stuff still. Every time one of you guys subscribes to the channel, Kevin is like the boss that we want to beat. And every time someone subscribes, the boss lifespan goes down. And every time one of you guys subscribes, you should see like a little thing go up. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I'm trying to play out with some new things right now, and I want to see if they actually work. I like the new software. Great. Thanks, guys. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this stuff. Trying to find fun ways to make it more entertaining for you guys too. So I don't really know. It's just kind of like a new thing I'm trying out. So hopefully hopefully this is all entertaining and useful for you guys. Trading is nice, but I come here for the music. That's hilarious. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Your mic is too hot. God damn it. This is just always a problem. It's too hot. It's too quiet. I'm trying to figure it out, guys. Let's see. Okay, I'll turn it down even more and see if that's better. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm just trying. Again, guys, I'm even like just kind of playing around in the background, editing this stuff, seeing what I can do to make it better. Mic's not so great, bro. Yeah, I know. Fuck. I know. This is what happens when you switch to a new streaming platform. Is you got to kind of reset everything. So I apologize. But on the bright side, oh, the volume over here is jacked up too. Okay, I guess. See, some of you, it's going to be too quiet, and then it's going to be too loud, and then it's going to be too quiet, and then it's going to be too loud. Okay, well, anyways, that's the best we can do. Check out the subscriber goal too, up to 1,000. It's better now. Awesome. Okay, cool. Trying to figure it out here. Thank you guys for going through this. Sounds normal now. Okay, awesome. Give us a thumbs up. I hope you guys are enjoying this live stream and that you can see your chats on the video now. Sounds good now. Awesome. Thank you. Too low. See, it's just a difficult game, guys. You know, we'll keep. I think we'll keep getting better and better at this. But we're trying a new streaming platform thanks to Baloo. So that should be able to make things a little better. I'm not sure if there is what kind of filters that we can add to this. Adjust audio mic volume. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're figuring it out. I love how everyone's an audio engineer all of a sudden. Never sounded too hot to me. Okay. Well, look, guys, again, that was kind of the part of the fun stream aspect of today. We wanted to try these new things out. So if you guys, if one of you would love to, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I want to see if the other aspects work as well. Sure, we'll do some more vlogs about Costa Rica. New software is good. Perfect now. Volume is excellent. One guy says it's really low. Yeah, you can't please everyone. I guess that's the difficult part here. Okay, so needs more reverb. Jesus, right? Totally. More reverb, more cowbell. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ethereum, super sexy. We also want to keep in mind two key things. Number one, we have some of the new stages of Ethereum coming into play soon. We also have the futures market. So the CME futures is actually going to come online soon. So if we roll over here and we go CME futures, Ethereum, on February 8th, I believe it is, yes, on February 8th, we're going to really want to keep an eye on this one. A lot of people are like, oh, is it going to drive the price down? Well, primarily, it's a great question. One of the interesting parts about defining Ether risk management, this allows people who hold Ethereum to go short, effectively, or long, goes both ways. Futures goes both ways. A lot of the times, if you've got a really big position, one of the useful aspects about derivatives, options, leverage, is that you can protect your portfolio with a small amount. Now, options is the best way to do this. Baloo and I were talking about probably going over episodes around how to use options to protect and cover your account, as they are volatility free, effectively, but time biased. So you can buy basically options insurance every month to cover your whole account. This is a standard function of the of almost every great hedge fund is to use options to some degree. So these derivatives platforms are really useful for that. So keep an eye on it. Now, again, guys, one of the aspects of today's live stream is kind of just to go over, make sure everything's working smoothly, because apparently we've been having a little bit of troubles. And I want to make sure everything's going smoothly. So if you can, leave us your thoughts and your comments. I know it's going to be a difficult one. We're trying to do our best to like always bring as much value as possible for you guys. What are your thoughts on Tesla? You know, this is a great question. I really like Tesla. I think Elon Musk is a gangster. But more importantly, if we're looking at the charts from a retrospective study, one of the things I think that's most valuable to understand is that we've got a large disconnect in the markets right now between the underlying value of an asset and its price. Because since the early 1930s, there's been no real relationship between like the earnings and the actual value of a company. The stock market is basically 100% speculation. And that's not great. If you want, there's a great podcast by Chamath Palihapitiya from the All In podcast. I really like what they go over. And it just looks about the reason the stock market was created in the first place was to help fund companies. So we lost that a long time ago. It's not for funding companies anymore so much as it is for speculation. And that comes from these derivatives where it's just notional value of capital moving. And that's not the best for the companies who are looking to use selling equity to fund themselves. And that's one of the most difficult aspects around this conversation, is to really understand that there's no notional, like proper notional value in the stock market anymore. So if we go back, we can see multi-year reaccumulation for Tesla, a big SOS phase, and then slam right back down to the backup of the top of the trading range before going absolutely ballistic. Where are we sitting at now? So again, because Tesla is very high right now, it could just continue to go up. You know, companies will often, again, they'll take out shorts to protect their position, but you're looking at a 10x from Tesla since March. It's a huge gain. So this type of the reality of understanding the non-notional characteristics of an asset anymore means we've walked into la la land a long time ago, before I was ever born. And what that means is, even though you might be investing in the company, however well that company does makes no difference. And this is what we've seen with GameStop. It doesn't really matter what GameStop does. It's an illiquid supply, and if people are going to keep buying it, it will keep going up. Now, I don't suggest buying this, obviously. It's, look at the crazy volatility in here. But the reason why you saw such a large run up, and we've gone over this in our previous videos, was that there was a big gap in between the amount of stock that was available. They were oversold by like 43%, like 143% they were short, which in itself I'm pretty sure is illegal. But it was probably a miscalculation between stockbrokers and the actual clearing houses of those stock. So GameStop is another great example where the underlying fundamental value of any company now doesn't make any difference. It hasn't since the 1930s. And that's one of the really interesting things about this entire crypto sector. None of these have anything to do with the underlying value of the asset per se. It's all speculation based off the liquid supply and the buy and sell pressure on that liquid supply. We saw the exact same thing with Doge the other day as well. Doge, which again, I don't suggest you buy, although we did take a very quick trade on that because when there's momentum, why not? But don't kick yourself in the face. Like, you're going to get hurt here if you're not a pretty seasoned trader. Again, you saw there's no real reason why Doge should go up that high, except for the buy pressure. So the fundamentals never once changed. And this is a big part to realize if you think about the entire Wall Street bets idea, is that ultimately fundamentals don't make any difference. It's simply about liquidity, like how much open liquid supply there is on the market, and the buy and sell pressure. If you have those two things, then the markets are going to go up or down. If people are buying, the markets will go up. If they're selling, the markets will go down. It doesn't matter how much money the company's making. It really doesn't matter how many cars they produced. So I would try to ignore stuff like that from now on, because any people that are talking about it like, oh, Tesla didn't hit how many cars they were supposed to produce. Well, those people still haven't figured out that that has nothing to do with how the markets work. So if the people you're listening to don't know how the markets work, you should probably stop listening to them. That would be like the first good indicator of success for you guys. So I'm a huge fan of doing your homework, doing your due diligence, going through your study. It's important. We've got a long time ahead of us here. I think that the more you study, the more confident and calm you'll be. Again, we've gone over this a few times with Ethereum and Bitcoin now too as well, closing above this POC line. I think we're going to get more closes here. And again, we've closed pretty consistently inside of this threshold area here between the POC and all of this other noise we have going on here from our primary support effectively. So when you're studying, one of the reasons why it's so valuable is because it can give you the calm confidence to, again, just enter the market and be a good investor, which is what most of you should be doing. 99% of you have not been here long enough to be a good trader. You shouldn't even be trying. But you should be making potential venture capital bets, like putting money into Aave or Band or Wi-Fi in small amounts, recognizing that these are all asymmetrical bets. They could be worth nothing. But one of our private members who have been following since the pandemic started, when we started looking at Aave and some of these other potential venture capital plays. $1,600 in Aave produced almost $150,000 in portfolio growth for them. I hope, thank you for them for sharing that with us too. I love when we get such amazing phone calls from our private group, because I offer everyone in our private group a 15-minute consultation so I can find out where each one of you is and how well you're doing, or not. Sometimes it's not, sadly. Less though, most of you are doing really well, so I'm grateful to see that. And this is important, again, because it's really easy to get scared out of positions, right? So even in Aave, I wouldn't be closing my entire position. I would be looking at the long-term venture capital aspect. But if your portfolio is overweighted in any way, I try to rebalance into the main players. I try to rebalance into the big boys like Ethereum and Bitcoin and Link, effectively. Now, I'm super excited on tomorrow to have Charles Hoskinson on the show. We have Charles Hoskinson at 2 p.m. 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'm very excited to have him on the show. It's going to be a very fun episode. So if any of you guys are new right now, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel as well. And also hit that notification bell, because anytime we go live, you guys will be notified. One of the fun things, as you can see here on the screen, is, well, again, I've added some new features. Maybe we'll give Buddha let's see. We're just playing around with stuff, basically. You can see how many of you guys are on the live stream right now and how many there are in the live chat. The other thing that we've added is the chat box, so you guys should be able to see the chat as it's going along. The viewer count, yeah, what else we got here? The alert box. Oh yeah, if one of you guys is new to the channel, please subscribe right now. I want to see this happen. But it should, like a little meme face should show up when you guys subscribe. I'm kind of excited to see if that works. And we did break over 31,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to continue to do live streams. I appreciate that. Did you sell your altcoins at the end of the bull market? In 2017, I was mostly in cash, although that's a different story, because I lost a lot of money trying to build something else in 2017. And we're probably going to make a dedicated video to that, just because I think it'll be fun to go over. I like building things, but it's also can be costly. Just subbed. Okay, when you guys subbed, did you see like a face show up or something? I hope so. Like, you should be able to see when you subscribe, it should show something. Oh, it should show like a little Pepe face each time one of you guys subscribe. I didn't see the face. Okay. Awesome, guys. So we're just kind of playing around, make sure these abstract aspects of the live stream are working. Trying to play. Yeah, 2 new subscribers. Okay, well that part worked. End with the Arabic guitar today. Okay, I will. We'll take a few more of your guys' thoughts and questions. And I'm trying to see how these other aspects of this thing go. So see, you've got Kevin down here. The more of you guys that subscribe, we can actually kill Kevin. His name should be Kenny, I guess. We should rename it to be Kenny, so that every episode we're trying to kill Kenny. Oh, you did see the meme. Nice. Awesome. Thank you guys. Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if this stuff works, because we just added all these new features into the channel. And I know it'll be fun for you guys, because that way when you give super chats, it'll come up on screen. It'll show the things you're typing on screen now, apparently. And we can also try to kill Kevin every episode. So the more of you that subscribe every episode, we can get closer to killing Kevin. I don't know why we want to kill Kevin. We think we should call him Kenny, or maybe Andy. Fucking Andy. But anyways, just random stuff to play around with that hopefully brings like more entertainment for you guys as we go through this. How do you feel about the silver squeeze? Great question. Interesting conversation. So what we'll do is we'll go over and take a look at silver. One of the things that's difficult about this, okay, and you guys just dropped a super chat. So let's see, did that show up on the screen? Nah, we'll figure it out. Let me guys know in the chats if all that stuff showed up on the screen. No, not Andy. You have to change your name, Creative Andy. Just messing around, guys. Yes, the bear meme did work. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Oh, there we go. Bernie S. donated $5 through Super Chat. Okay, Dennis, perfect. I love that. It does work. That's all I wanted to see. I like that it works. Thank you, guys. Now we know we can mess around with this a little bit more and see how it all plays together. Okay, we will look at BCH and we will look at silver, which we're going to go over first, and then BCH, because I think silver is an interesting question and an interesting conversation. So silver on the 4-hour and the daily, as you can see, we had a reaccumulation after decline already drawn up. For those of you that have been studying, you'll have recognized this. We've had this drawn up since December. Thank you to some of the private bear members who had brought this up before the silver squeeze conversation came to the table. So this is a pretty weak reaccumulation pattern, but we can look at it by going back to our regular conversations around reaccumulations. Here it is, schematic 4. I believe it's this one. No. Yes, this one. Reaccumulation schematic 4. Nice. And the boss lost some health. Okay, awesome. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for playing this game with me. I don't know why. Maybe I should pause this video so it's a bit more data. I am in the middle of the jungle, by the way, in case anyone wonders. Okay, so here we go. This one. Schematic 4 is what we want to take a look at. And you can see the similarities here with silver. So we had our SOS phase out of the box, our backup phase, and then we started to see an explosion. Now, we've been watching this since December. So the fact that it was going to do this kind of wasn't new, although they are taking advantage of a breakout potential here. Now, the interesting part about silver is that we need it in technology. So people are like, oh, they've been manipulating the silver price to stay down. It's like, well, one of the things about silver is it's not totally illiquid. We don't know how much silver is in the earth. We also don't know that if we went and mined an asteroid, that there would be an infinite amount of silver there. So silver is not a fixed supply. So for instance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, well, Ethereum is going to might even become deflationary in its model with BIP 1539 or whatever it is. But silver's not fixed in supply. So therefore, they're going to have a much more difficult time running the price up. You're not going to see the same thing as you would in GameStop. But even more importantly, if you run the price of silver up, then your cell phones, your computers, the tech gear that we're using from Stream, Elgato, this all gets more expensive. So it's been to our benefit that silver has stayed relatively cheap. And also, it's manipulatable because it's not a fixed supply. And again, I can't stress that enough. Like the reason how a market works is basically based off that buy and sell pressure. But that buy and sell pressure really only works when you have an illiquid supply, much like we've gone over in Bitcoin many times, which is that the less liquidity there is in the market, as we can see this massive amount of supply being taken off the exchanges, both in the liquid supply and on the balance percentage stacked, then we can see the price go up dramatically. And the importance here again is to remember that we've seen these massive drops and issuance taken off the market. So this is important because when you see these kinds of things, it increases the volatility. So when market supply is leaving because it's illiquid, that increases the volatility of the market itself. I think this is an extremely important aspect of the market to understand. Silver doesn't have that. Silver doesn't have this fixed supply potential. And that's a big deal. If it had the fixed supply potential, we could make a much different conjecture around what's going on here as well. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. And you understand why, even though I was a fan of that potential trade there because of the technicals. Fundamentally speaking, it just doesn't have the viability in terms of the liquid supply because we don't know what the supply is. And that's super important to recognize. Okay, let's take a look at some of your guys' thoughts and questions. Thanks, man. I just subscribed. Okay, you want me to take a look at BCH? We'll go over that. Okay, let's go back and take a look at BCH. So the other important thing, guys, to go over here is understanding venture capital. So I've gone over this a few times. My venture capital bag, I put very small amounts in, and they're supposed to be asymmetrical bets, which means they could be worth nothing or they could be worth a lot more. Anybody who invests enormous amounts of money into asymmetrical venture capital bets is an idiot anyways. So please understand that there's a drastic difference about how you make a well-built portfolio. We have Charles Hoskinson coming on the show tomorrow, so I'm excited. I really like ADA now because I love Charles Hoskinson. The first 5 minutes I listened to his podcast, he talked about Kiva 6 years ago. I didn't even know Kiva existed yet, and Hoskinson was talking about Kiva. So I'm a big fan of that. But we'll take a look at BCH. I'm not a fan of BCH in any way, shape, or form. The market has already picked Bitcoin as the leader. Although we can see I had already looked at it, and we saw a horizontal trading range that had been building. Again, guys, some of those plays, again, for silver, I can see some of your guys' thoughts and questions. If you were in silver or if you are a much more technical trader, there's a lot of potential even from a 20% move, right? But in terms of just buying spot silver, I don't think it's that effective. I'm much more interested in, well, first off, venture capital, asymmetry, and bets, which again, put $1,000 in Aave worth $100,000 or nothing, right? And that's a really good way to play the game. And I think you should pretty much always look at that as a venture capital sentiment because it just yields better results. Anyone who tells you otherwise is just like, oh, I'll go all in on Band or Uniswap. Like, whoa. Okay, sure. If you're young and you don't mind risking everything, that's great. But I've lived out here in Costa Rica. I've managed multiple businesses. Like, that's not how I play. I play by building longevity. I try to be as competent and as kind as I possibly can during the whole process, because that's usually what yields the best results. Now, you don't always get the opportunity to like win that game, but you try your best anyways. So here's BCH. Again, I wouldn't have been in this play even from March, basically September here. You're talking about 165% gain, which is basically worthless. You know, you would have much better been in ADA. And again, ADA, if we go back, we look at our multiple horizontal trading ranges, one which is still taking place. I really like Charles Hoskinson. He's doing ice baths and he likes mushrooms. He also likes Kiva. Like, I'm gonna seriously so excited to talk to him tomorrow. So ADA, for example, as soon as we left the trading range, we had our primary SOS, our backup phase. You saw almost a 16 to 18, 1,800%? Yeah, 1,400% gain from ADA from March or the beginning of the pandemic till now. So huge gains. Oh, Jesus, was I not sharing the screen? Oh, no, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we'll go over this again. We'll go back to BCH. I apologize. Okay. So here was the horizontal trading range we had drawn up previously with Bitcoin Cash. Again, just such poor momentum here. Up 200% and then dropping it all down. As a speculative play, like if you have a really small amount of money in there, sure, why not? But nothing more than venture capital, I wouldn't say. It just is not worth it. Like this horizontal trading range is like produce nothing. And again, when you compare it to something like Cardano on that same time frame, you have our previous trading range, our breakout here, our SOS, our backup phase. But the spring in March, which is where the bull market started, produced like 1,800% results. That means if you put $1,000 in Cardano around here, it's worth 18 grand today. And that's so important to understand, because if you had put $1,000 in BCH at that same time frame, you'd have 2 grand. And you really want to follow the market leaders. Like we've gone over a few of the big, what I think are market leaders. Aave is one of them, Wi-Fi, Band, Avalanche. These all sit in my venture capital bag, which means I put a small amount of money in them and they could go up 1,000x. And if they could be worth nothing, you literally need to be prepared for a venture capital play to be worth nothing. Like if you literally understand anything about investing and marketing, go, and I suggest you do your homework because some of you are lazy. Go look at the difference between venture capital players and those who invest just strictly in the market. It's a huge difference. We'll take a look at Uniswap as well. I think that's important. Some people just don't understand anything about market sentiments. So this guy's like, oh, Veritasium fraud for 10 million. Yeah, well, guess what? EOS was fined 20 million. It's not a big deal. And now XRP is going to get fined too. Don't be such a fucking moron. Like you're an idiot. By crypto expert, because you are not an expert. You know nothing about what you're talking about. I'm going to kick you out of here. You don't even know how venture capital works. You sound like a little baby. Hide user on this channel. Bye-bye. We just hide scammy people that don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, great. Veritasium didn't work out. That's the point of understanding venture capital. You might lose 6 or lose 4 and win 6. That's basically how you play the game. So if you guys would like, this is actually a kind of a fun moment to do this too. If you want, we have the pleasure of being able to have some amazing people on the show. So we've had Stani from Aave. If you type Stani, Aave, Arcane Bear, you'll find our podcast with... So I suggest going back to look at some of these, but when I want to highlight... Yeah, here we go. Here's our chat with Stani. But the one I want to go over, and look, here's our video from Link a month ago. But what I want to go over is David Hornick, because he was a really great podcast. And I think this one will help you guys understand venture capital. So, so this is David Hornick, venture capital investing 7 months ago. I highly suggest watching this. David Hornick is one of the world's best venture capitalists. David Hornick, what did he do? Like $2.3 billion. Let's see, does it have a... I think it's David Hornick, Midas Touch. So you really want to know how this stuff works, guys, because otherwise you're just going to make a fool of yourself, and it's best not to do that. So this is David Hornick. He was one of Forbes Midas Touch investors, which basically he invested in Splunk, Fastly, GitLab, Evite, Ebates, Drop, WePay, Bill.com, PayNearMe, and 7 out of 10 of everything he invested in blew up. That's extraordinary. A lot of venture capital players don't get anywhere near that. So what else here? Brilliant Home Technology, Fastly, GitHub, Hi Hello, Insight Engines, LiveOps. He absolutely killed it. He is one of the top venture capital investors out there. And again, what you're looking for from a venture capital perspective is realizing that you're going to get it wrong. And when you get it wrong, you shouldn't have that much invested in it. That's literally, venture capital is all asymmetry in bets. So you should be making small bets, not huge ones, knowing that your investment style is based off of this type of strategy. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Uniswap, I guess, was another one that we had gone over, and we'll take a quick look at this. And then I'm going to go back. So here's our Uniswap chart. We saw what looked like a very nice cup and handle, and it absolutely exploded out of the backside in November. I believe it's kind of near top here, but we could spike up quite a bit. Actually, let's see here on our I think Baloo had a PNF chart drawn up here. Shit, we could get as high as $32 off of Uniswap here on some of the next pulls. So I would be looking for a new trading range to form here, though. There's been a lot of volatility in Uniswap already. And there's a lot of other competitors like 1inch, like OctoFi. So it's important to understand some of the differences in your investment strategy. Are you a speculator? Are you playing with leverage? Are you a good investor, which just basically buys and holds for the rest of your life? Or are you a venture capitalist, which looks to put small amounts of money in early stage companies that have a high likelihood of failing, but if they succeed, they're worth like 1,000 times more. So anyways, I really appreciate all your guys' support. We're going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys like all the new kind of fun features that we did here. Like this, I don't know. Look at this. 2 new subscribers we gained today. If you guys are new here right now, please subscribe to the channel because we have a goal to get to 10,000. And as you can see at the bottom of the channel, we had 2 new subscribers today. So every time one of you guys subscribes, it brings us just that little bit closer to hitting our goal. So we've got the whole year to do it. I want to see if we can get 10,000 subscribers this year. So that's kind of the goal. We'll see if it works. Oh yeah, you guys wanted me to play a little bit of music. Remember to like, all that fun stuff. We're going to continue. Why do you delete people who agree? Because they're basically trolls and they keep repeating the same useless information over again, when we have hundreds of times gone over the importance of understanding the difference in portfolio speculation and how you build a portfolio. And if you're that retarded, and hold on. If you're not even that good at being a retard, you don't belong here, because at least the rest of us know how to play like degenerates properly. So just bye-bye. Don't need your useless input here because it's not valuable. Now, if you brought something valuable to the table, that's a different story. What about NFT, the art in the back? Oh, yeah. So this is my ex-partner's art. She's amazing. Check her out, Faye Halliday. This is our legal team's photography. They sell photography to help fund charities in Africa. And then this one here that you can't see because it's somewhat behind is a sexy half-naked girl, is Lagus. And he's the guy also that did our one-of-a-kind psychedelic Arcane Bear. So yeah, we would maybe do some of these and turn these into NFTs and sell them for charity. It's one of our favorite things to do, is try to help out the underbanked and the underserved. So I'm super excited. Get the banjo. I don't have a banjo. I do have a banjo oud, although it's not tuned. I'm restringing it right now. I will play just maybe a minute of the oud here for you guys before we dive off today's live stream. Got to go in, and we'll call it a day. Thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. I love how everyone. Sorry, guys. We can't say a retard on the live stream. By the way, YouTube, I already told you I'm gonna fucking swear in today's video. I've gotten good at making sure I do that. So thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate your support. Stay with the Arcane Bear. I love you. Go enjoy the sunshine. Oh, hey, if you want to see what it looks like, because in case some of you don't know, I am blessed to be able to live in the middle of the Costa Rican jungle, in one of the most beautiful parts in the entire world as far as I'm concerned. So what we'll do is we'll show you that really quickly, because I think it's fun to see. And you can probably hear it now too. It's ridiculously loud. Oh, I can even go outside a little bit, I bet. You won't be able to hear me, but this is what it looks like. Yeah. That's sexy. There's my dog. Hi, girl. Yeah. Hi. Okay, still the Arcane Bear. Enjoy yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're like, Carlos. Carlos. Yay. We're signing off for the rest of the day. You guys are amazing. I love that we get to be so ridiculous with our live streams. Go out there, enjoy yourselves, love the world, give a tree a hug, Stay with the Arcane Bear. We'll see you on the next episode. And boom.